So let's analyze this one. When you are keeping your nose clean, it means that you are not going to start an issue, you are not going to start a problem, you know? You are going to stay safe, out of trouble. Listen to this.
In which I must keep my nose clean and, if possible, collaborate with the local provincials, the important local provincials.
Again, a lot of opportunities.
In which I must keep my nose clean, the least possible. Who wish to control and be enriched by provincials with the least possible trouble. What Vespasian should have learnt, he would have already known when he went to Carthage, is this is a place in which I must keep my nose clean and, if possible, collaborate with the local provincials, the important local provincials.
What did he talk about? What is he speaking about?
Robert loves romance, so I think he could explain you.
Yeah. Robert knows everything. That's how he can explain it to us. Do you want to listen again?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you say that? Okay, let's go again.
For me it's all right, but I don't know the everybody.
Okay. Then yes, it's very probable that you want to listen again. Okay, let's go again.
What Vespasian should have learnt, he would have already known when he went to Carthage, is this is a place rich by want to be Roman, and Romans who wish to control and be enriched by provincials with the least possible trouble.
The least possible trouble, that's important. Romans who wish to control the enriched provincials with the least possible trouble. Do you understand this?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It's similar to the expression, right? That you
Exactly.
avoid the problems in general. The
Excellent.
conflict or
That's why we're saying that this is the context for the next expression.
Exactly.
What Vespasian should have learnt, he would have already known when he went to Carthage, is this is a place in which I must keep my nose clean and, if possible, collaborate with the local provincials, the important local provincials.
What did he say?
As you know, you collaborate with the natives, and you don't confuse them totally. You know.
Exactly.
And that's the reason he said Romans enriched by not having trouble with the local people. You know.
By not having.
Okay. Yes.
By not having. Exactly.
By not having.
Pronunciation.
Native.
Native, exactly, not native.
Sorry.
And you don't.
Okay, conquer. Yes.
The stress is in the first syllable.
Conquer.
Conquer.
Right? You don't conquer them. You just collaborate with them. That's why he's talking about keeping his nose clean. Second.
I feel
Right.
thankfully 14 years later, Sky Team is still thriving.
Yay.
I feel you, because that takes courage and vulnerability. To your point, we're on a
Yes.
career track. I was the same in banking in my first one. Keep your nose clean, work hard, and I had a career for life. But something inside was saying, no, this isn't everything.
Exactly. And
All right, let's listen again.
that's what I
feel you, because that takes courage and vulnerability. To your point, we're on a career track. I was the same in banking in my first one. Keep your nose clean, work hard, and I had a career for life. But something inside was saying, no, this isn't everything.
Exactly.
What is he talking about? Let's go with Robert Lewis.
The ability is
Okay, repetition.
Exactly. And
I was the same in banking. Feel you, because that takes courage and vulnerability. To your point, we're on a career track. I was the same in banking in my first one. Keep your nose clean, work hard, and I had a career for life. But something inside was saying, no, this isn't everything.
exactly. And that's what I felt. And after I left, I thought to myself, okay, if the organization could lose someone like me, someone who thought I was a
What are they talking about?
about the job of this girl, that it doesn't matter to lose her position in the company.
It doesn't matter to lose the position in the company. Okay.
That is not a great problem.
Why do you say that?
At some part of the conversation, he said that keep the nose clean, equivalent to being out of problems.
Exactly, but then all the context behind it, you invented it. because we are, yes, you understood the expression, but we don't understand why she said that. So let's go again, one more time. Check this out, slowly.
"14 years later, Sky Team is still thriving."
Yay.
I feel you.
So there is something here that she says, I feel you, which is another expression that we should analyze. But I feel you. What does she mean when she says that?
That she thinks are the same. Or
Maybe
Thinks the same.
she lived the same thing, and it's like I feel you, and I don't know exactly.
Excellent. So she's empathizing.
I agree.
Exactly. I agree with you. Exactly. She's empathizing with her situation. And they are having similar experiences, as Chucho said. And probably she thinks the same, as Sophie said. It's a group of everything that you are saying, right? And then when she says, I feel you, she will start talking about courage and vulnerability.
Because that takes courage and vulnerability. To your point, we're on a career track. I was the same in banking.
In a career track, especially when she's talking about a career track.
My first one. Keep your nose clean, work hard, and I had a career for life. But something inside was saying,
this but is the most important part of the sentence. We cannot ignore this but. Okay? Why did she say but, Luis?
It's contrasting with what she said before.
In what way? Why
About
did she say keep your nose clean, and then she says but?
that working hard in banking is equivalent to don't to not having problems in the banking.
Working hard in problems. Okay.
No, if you work hard in the banking, you are out of problems. You
are
are
out of
keeping
problems.
your nose clean.
But here's the thing. Why did she say but?
But yes, she's not. But there are more important things in the life.
Eliminate that in life.
In life, yes.
Very good. Exactly. That's what she meant. So there was nothing related to her career, and nothing related to work. Technically, she's talking about life.
Yes, the work is not all in the in life.
Exactly. That's what she's saying. That's the correct expression. You see? So as you can see, something important that we need to take when you are understanding an expression is the whole context behind or around the expression. It's not only the expression per se. Because you will only detect the expression and okay, probably we understand it, but why did the person say it is the real analysis behind the conversation. You see, understanding the other person's intentions, what are they talking about. I think that's the most important part for conversations. So the first expression is covered. Keep my nose clean, keep your nose clean in order to thrive. Okay? The next one. What is a hoax? Let's read that one. Chucho.
Yes, just give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'm eating cake. Sorry.
Yes.
Delicious.
Excellent breakfast.
Champions breakfast. A plan to deceive someone. Okay, what is deceive?
Exactly. That's an excellent question. How do you spell it?
That doesn't exist, teacher.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Okay. Deceive. To make somebody believe something that is not true. Oh no. That's bad. So it's like, okay. Okay. So a hoax is, okay, please. It's, for example, well, I think I'm a good person, so I don't do it. So, but suppose that in an exam, so I'm making a hoax when I had a little note in my calculator, for example. And yes, it's a trap. No?
So you are deceiving your teacher?
Exactly.
No, that doesn't count as a hoax. Because that's not a plan. Like you are not intentionally trying to deceive the teacher. You are, when you are cheating on an exam, you want a benefit for yourself. So that wouldn't be hoax. That would be just cheat. But let's say more about, imagine a finances guru that
Okay.
You know, and start
Like
speaking
Herbalife?
about crypto. Oh, exactly. This is a perfect hoax. A massive, massive hoax.
Yes. Okay, okay. Or these
Right?
pyramidal structures that
Exactly.
tell you, oh yes, you
Spanglish,
will
Spanglish.
be
Pyramidal is Spanish.
I know
The name of the shape is a pyramid.
pyramid.
Yes, and the thing that we are talking about is a scheme.
Yes.
Scheme.
Okay.
So we're talking about what's the thing we're talking about?
Pyramid. What was the word?
It's over here.
No. The adjective. The pyramid. A pyramid scheme.
Exactly.
Okay. A pyramid
Exactly.
scheme. Okay.
Pyramid scheme. That's correct. That's a pyramid scheme is the best example of a hoax that we can talk about.
Brutal.
Brutal. Exactly. Listen to an example.
And it's beautiful. I love his hugs. I always feel very close to him.
That's
If
the
hoax.
same meaning.
Exactly. If hoax is so negative, why does she love his hoax, no? Let's check
Maybe
it out.
it's a toxic relationship.
Exactly.
Close.
It was normally I don't do the long extended hugs, but I was happy to take that one for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty long. He's a really good hugger. You know, he really does. He puts his head on my shoulder and really, I feel it. I feel like a mother. And it's beautiful. I love his hugs. I always feel very close to him.
Well, I think I don't know. She's a sugar mom, you know. Sugar mom. It's perverse.
But is she here girlfriend?
Well, yes.
It's his mom.
She said, no, I felt like his mother. I think it's not
like a mother. Not.
So if he hugs her and she is not his mother, I only can
Why is
find
I don't know.
an answer, you know?
She's definitely not the secretary.
Exactly. You know? He is too old to have a teacher, so it's like, well, the answer is very directly. So
now, okay, let's see this one.
A mother's worst nightmare to lose one son. Did you think, not again?
Yes, I definitely did. I thought the universe can't be this cruel.
Nah, bro, he's his mother.
Oh, teacher, I love the drama.
Yeah, you live in a very toxic society. But no, it's his mother. This is over here.
I think she's talking about her son, but maybe, well, I suppose he died or something like that in an accident.
Yes.
Exactly. Listen to this. Exactly. That's why she was talking about cruel.
It is more possible.
Listen.
A mother's worst nightmare to lose one son. Did you?
Right? My mother's worth a nightmare to lose one son. And she says, not again. So she had already lost a son, as Sophie said.
Okay, well, with this context, it's more direct. Yes.
Exactly. Honestly, I also thought at the beginning that she was a sugar mommy, but no. We're talking about a real mom. A real mom and his boy that likes to swim in the surf. But of course there are risks, no? There is a shark attack happening in this case.
Yes.
So what does she say? I love these hooks, or I love his hooks.
If I remember correctly, she said that his son was a cool person, you know. So he hugged her, but in a, I don't know, fake way, you know.
He hugged her in a fake way. Probably we need more context. Let's listen to the next part. Check this out.
It was pretty long. He's a really good hugger. You know, he really does. He puts his head on my shoulder and really, I feel it. I feel like a mother. And it's beautiful. I love his hugs. I always feel very close to him.
The other great constant in Mick's life is the ocean. It's been his playground and his sanctuary since he was 4. But right now, going surfing isn't as straightforward as it once was.
I guess when something like this happens, you're in your own mind, and your mind can play tricks on you. Your mind can turn shadows into demons or stuff like that.
That's pretty much it. No, I thought the mom was going to say that. But talking about these hoax is technically...
And maybe because the activity is then the hoax is referring that the activity is dangerous. And due to the sharks and any other bad element in the ocean.
Okay.
He does this activity. So I think the hoax is the activity of this guy. She says, I love his hoax. So I love that he makes this activity even when due to the danger he can suffer something, and she as a mom could be deceived in the future.
Well, the thing is, that can be possible, but we are disconnecting everything that she's saying, because she, in the previous line, she said he's a good hugger. So we're talking about the love of a mother, and has no relation, or she's not talking about the activity per se.
Maybe the host is the host, no? The piece of her mind when he hugs her.
Excellent. It goes something about her feelings.
Yes.
It's like, okay, it can be related to what Luis is saying, but in a different way. I know that you have a risk, but I feel peace when you hug me. I feel relaxed when you are hugging me and you are next to me. That's a hoax. Because she knows that he is in risk, sorry. But she feels love whenever he is hugging her, because he is a good hugger. You see? What an interesting way to say I love his hugs. That was a very, very interesting way. very metaphorical.
Like Spider-Man with his aunt.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Oh, Peter Parker hugs his aunt, but in the for example, in his hair, that every day he puts his life on risk.
Okay, wait. Hoax is not a verb.
Yes, it's a noun. I know.
Aha, and you say that he hoax his aunt. I'm very confused.
No. Hugs is when you.
Oh, hugs. Okay. Watch out. Oof, the pronunciation, because I understood hoax.
The problem is that the words sound similar.
Exactly, it's the vowel sound. The word hug has the vowel a. Hug.
Hug.
Okay.
And the word hoax has the diphthong o. With only this phonetic, the word changes at all. So try to say it again.
Spider-Man decides his aunt when he hugged her because, yes, it's a hoax.
Because he knew who killed Uncle Ben.
Yes, maybe that. Okay.
Oh, no?
Yes.
Were you talking about that?
Yes. No. Yes. Exactly. Yes.
What was your real intention? What were you talking about?
Yeah, the same case that this video he made feel secure. No, I don't know. Yes. He deceived his aunt by making believe her he's only a student.
Okay. By making her believe. Switch. By making her believe. Because you're making believe her.
Yes, exactly. You understood the point.
No. You need to correct yourself. Correction. To make.
Okay, so he deceived her, making her believe he's only a student. Yes.
Excellent. Very nice. That sounds much better, brother. And yes, that could be another kind of hoax. Exactly. In the same way that as she feels safe, but of course we know what's up. That would be a hoax if Aunt May knew that he is Spider-Man. Because in this case, what she is saying is that she loves the hoax because she knows that it's a hoax, right? Peter Parker never had the intention to deceive her, so that will be a little bit different. A little bit. If Aunt May knew that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but Peter Parker didn't tell her, then this is the same. It's equal. It's the same story. Do you know where I'm going with this? Right? But because Aunt May didn't know, that cannot be considered a hoax.
Yes.
You see? So it's not the same from Aunt May's perspective. It's not exactly the same. In this case, it's because she knows that there is a risk.
If my example was bad.
It was not bad, just a little bit different. Just a little bit.
Okay.
But there you go. Unless you are talking about the new Aunt May. That could be.
Yes.
Who knows? But all right, let's go read the next one. Swallow the bait. And actually, no, wait. Do you know what is straightforward? No, in the video there was a word here that his surfing was pretty straightforward.
And beautiful.
Something that is easy.
Excellent, Luis, excellent. Okay, so you are familiar with that. I really wanted to check that with you. Pretty straightforward, pretty direct. There is no curve. It's easy. It's quick. Okay, so no problem with that. Swallow the bait. What is swallow the bait? Victor, help us with that as well.
Yes. Swallow the bait to respond to someone's actions or words in the way that they intend. Yes.
That one is difficult to understand, no? To respond to someone's actions or words in the way that they intended. Respond to. Let's check another definition. No, there's no expression. Do you know what is a bait? You're not familiar with the word bait?
No, I don't know that word.
Really?
Yes, it's something that is used to fish.
Aha, exactly.
Okay.
When you are fishing, you need this, which is a small fish that will work as food for bigger fish so you can catch them. That's why, actually, in English, there's a lot of expressions about fishing that talks about deceiving and lying. Do you remember a catfish? Well, it's when a person tries to deceive another person. So the bait is this, something that you use to fish other bigger fish. So swallow is the action of eating and then passing the food through your throat up to the stomach. Swallow the bait. Do you get it?
Yes.
Well, then let's check the definition. Help me, Victor.
If you swallow the bait, you completely accept something, especially an offer that is a trick or way of getting something from you.
That is more clear, isn't it? Much more clear.
Yes.
Let's say that you are, in what occasions do you think you have swallowed the bait?
For example, in the case that you just said of Herbalife, it could be where there is a host that has a specific great promise. If you made some actions, so you swallow the bait in that case.
That's right. What kind of actions?
What?
What kind of actions? You said you make some actions. What?
Maybe you have. I think that in that case you have to do hard actions, or maybe you have to get money.
Kinda. So the thing is, they provide products, or they.
Okay. Yes.
No, they show you a good nutrition plan for your life.
Okay.
So they catch you with a breakfast. You're going to have this drink as a breakfast, and then when you come constantly, I told to you about the benefits, and then at the end you are going to finish buying a full start kit to sell it yourself, or to take it to your house, or to be part of the club, no? So then it's like you start, actually, it can be a direct expression for sales. Do you know what is sales?
Yes.
Right? So it's not necessarily for pyramid schemes. It can be also like if you are walking on the shopping mall and a person tells you, hey, hello, can I show you this new product, right?
Yeah.
When you accept to say, okay, let's check it, you are swallowing the bait. You are not buying, but you're just getting attracted.
Yes, of course. Yes.
That's to swallow the bait.
So it's not limited to bad plants?
Exactly. This one in particular is not limited to bad plants. It can be also a normal cell.
Okay. So
Yesterday.
Because in Spanish we have, when someone is planning something bad for something else, I think we use a similar expression, but it's not the case in this.
Exactly. That's different. That will be a hoax. To fall on the hoax. So it will be different to fall on the hoax versus swallow the bait.
Yeah, because I think in Spanish we say y se la tragó, sí, se la tragó todo, ¿no?
And it's the same word. Okay. What a massive cultural difference. Wow. No,
Yeah,
English
because when someone is planning something bad, with a bad intention, and the plan functions, the plan works, I think we say se la tragó.
Exactly. And we use the word swallow.
Yes, and it's also a plan, but in the Spanish equivalent is, or not equivalent, in the Spanish version, it's only for bad action, for a bad plan.
Yes. No. This is very different.
There are better phrases.
Yeah. No. This is totally different. So
this is for a general plan, I think.
Exactly. A normal cell. It can be a normal cell. Wow. So interesting. Okay, let's give it a pause because Jessie is in the chat. She's trying to take attendance. Okay. Hello, Jess. Hi. Yes, of course. I cannot hear you. You are very far away, like Shrek. No.
No.
Okay, much better. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. So is he Jesus? Hi, Jesus.
Here. Hello, Jessie.
Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Roberto.
Hi, Jessie. Good morning.
Hi, Roberto. Good morning. Thank you. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Jessie. Good morning.
Hi, Sophie. Good morning. And hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. So that's all. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
You too. Have a great day.
See you.
You.
Thank you.
Great day, everybody.
Bye, Jojo. See you later.
Bye. See you.
So yes, that was so interesting. The observation you made, Luis, is so cultural. It's so cultural, and that's the biggest challenge in advanced speaking. Because some of them the problem is not linguistic, and the problem is not structural. It's cultural. The same word can mean a very different thing in Spanish, because in Spanish it's like, yeah, you swallow and you are getting totally deceived. And here it's just a casual expression. Swallow the bait.
The shark can swallow the bait because sometimes it will.
Keen. Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free.
The Art of War. You see? Have you read this book?
Yes. It's a
classic.
Yes, yes.
Well, here you have the chapter of the enemy, number 35.
Okay.
It's keen. Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy. Do not interfere with an army that is returning home.
Okay.
It's keen.
Right. In the case of, for example, Victor, what do you know about swallowing the bait offered by the enemy? What does it mean in this case?
That in the context of the war, yes.
War, yeah, that's the pronunciation.
You have to be careful with the actions and intentions of your enemy, because maybe he or she are making a trap.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Totally nice. Exactly. So in this case, it's actually a pretty negative.
Yes.
No?
Is it?
A pretty negative meaning. Let's see if we can find another one.
Do not swallow bait offered by the enemy.
The same book. That's it.
Yes.
Let's check it in past. Probably we can find more examples.
In her portion, Claudius swallowed the bait, literally. The poison was designed to act slowly. Claudius retired drunk and with the first symptoms of stomachache, which got worse.
We're talking about Claudius Aurelius, right?
Yes.
And this emperor was killed with poison.
Yes, that is similar. The last case.
Precisely.
Teacher, but I think that what Luis said, it's correct, right? Maybe I understand that also it refers to a bad things in a negative way, because in the definition also said that is something trick and with the purpose to get something from you, but in a bad way,
It is, yet it can be a bad way, but it's something that he said perfectly is not limited to. Which is, yes, it is usually used for bad ways, but not always like that. If a person completes, I don't know, in a competition, for example, in a competition there is always going to be a better football player that with a couple of movements will deceive the defense and will pass to the goal and will kick to goal. So that was not necessarily negative, but the defense swallowed the bait. All right. So there are very many contexts in which you can use one expression. And that was pretty interesting, eh? Pretty interesting. It's so interesting how in this particular video, the narrator said literally. Did you see that? So Persian Claudius swallowed the bait. Literally. Because the normal expression is just an expression. So interesting how it happens here. Swallow the bait. The next one. Go, Sophie.
How come? He used to ask about the reason for something. It is easy.
It is easy. Do you know the question for reason?
Why?
This is the same question as how come. Okay.
But
So
I think that it is more casual. No?
Exactly. So you have heard it.
I think yes.
Probably. It's very probable that you have heard it.
In the series, for example, like
of
Friends,
course.
we can say for sure they say how come.
Exactly. And they use it. Just the word how come, or together with a complete structure. In this case, for example, in the first example that we have here, she says, how come that we have the important men of science? You know? So the rest of the expression can be connected to the question how come. Similar to say, why do we have the important men of science?
How come that we have, the important men of science? Are they really superior because they have bigger brains?
She's asking questions. No.
I've got notes here. Why are they behind my back? Our main mission in Tiger Box is to explore new ways for people to experience dance, which is I've got notes here. Why are they behind my back?
I think that's not related to the conversation.
Project. A little bit about Tiger Box. I've got notes here. Why are they behind my back?
That's not related to the conversation. And this one is not working. If it's such a big deal, how come we don't know about it? Right? Two words that we need to do. So a word that you should try to use more is the word such. That word is so important to start using. Okay. But here we go. Oh, there it is. It's not working.
So incivility. If it's such a big deal, how come we don't know about it? I never got taught about it in medical school, in my membership exams, or my fellowship exams. And it's because this is new science. Between 1996 and 2000, on all of the academic papers, there were only 23 about incivility, rudeness. Between 2011 and 2015.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. Okay. Incivility. Check this out. Help me with the definition. Luis.
Incivility, rude behavior, rude remarks.
Do you get it?
So when you behave in an improper way.
Yes, exactly. When you behave in a proper way, you have incivility.
For example, if you put your elbows, if you lay your elbows in the table, you have rude remarks.
On the table.
On the table, yes.
No. It's more about. It's different to say bad manners than incivility. It's harder. Incivility is more about the way people drive in Mexico City, for example. That's the best example I can think of. The fact that people, if they want to turn to the right instead of waiting in the right lane, they take the second lane to be able to pass the lane and make a second line in order to make a right. That's totally uncivility.
Okay.
All right. When, okay, I have done that.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. I didn't know that was what. No.
Other people use it, you know. Other people may think it's uncivility. Yeah, I just hate that. I just hate that because you have been waiting in the line for a couple of street lights, and then another very smart guy goes along the block and passes you. It's like, come on, man. We're trying here. But yes.
Okay, so this refers to bad manners in general. No, not precisely bad manners.
Bad behavior. I cannot find another word other than behavior, because it's not only attitude. It's the act. Is to actually put it into practice.
So you are not following the general accepted rules to be in society, or
Yes, exactly.
or in a community, no?
But that's why we have the word civil.
Okay.
What I mean?
Yes.
That part is important because he said uncivility. If it's such a big deal, I mean, if uncivility is such a big deal, how come we don't know about uncivility? Right? That was an interesting view. I want to listen to that TED talk. Bark up the wrong tree. That's super important. Check it out. Luis, help me with this definition.
Bark up the wrong tree, to be wrong about the reason for something or the way to achieve something.
That's hard to associate, isn't it?
So you are not following the correct path.
You are not following the correct path. To be wrong about the reason for something or the way to achieve it. I don't think so. No, you are probably in the right path, but the way you are doing it or the reason you are doing it is wrong.
Yes, so you have an issue or a problem and you create a set of action to solve it, but these are not correct. Because you didn't understand correctly the root of the issue.
Okay, the root of the issue. Can you think of an example?
I don't know. I think maybe in the last governments, the unsafe climate.
The unsafe what?
The unsafe climate in the country.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think they have been following different strategies for solving, but these have not been the correct ones.
So they have been barking up the wrong tree.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes, because all continues in the same way. Of the politician organization.
Exactly, which is very unfortunate. That's a great example, eh? So the government has been barking up the wrong tree for years, trying to solve the crime. That's so important. Man. Very good example, eh?
And it's independent of the color of the who's in the power. The results are the same.
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. Whoever you choose, there is still insecurity. There is still unsafety. There is still trouble in the streets.
Yes.
Good example, eh? Let's check this.
I have to say to the right honourable gentleman that he continues to bark up the wrong tree. We're leaving the European Union. That means we will be leaving the single market and leaving the customs union. We will take back and we will ensure that we can do trade deals around the rest of the world. And that will be important for us, and it's important in, he references jobs, it will be important in ensuring jobs in this country.
Okay.
And we
So interesting that you mentioned politicians and then a video of politicians.
And protect jobs throughout the UK. Anything less will be a failure of leadership.
No, I have to say to the right honourable gentleman that he continues to bark up the wrong tree. We're leaving the European Union. That means we will be leaving the single market and leaving the customs union.
He said, gentleman continues to bark up the wrong tree. Right after he stops speaking.
We'll take and we'll be leaving. We are kingdom. There are particular circumstances.
Embarrassing.
This.
Back in Scotland. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Can I associate myself with the remarks of the Prime Minister regarding the late Jimmy Hood and pass on condolences on these benches to his family and friends? I'm sure the House will want to join me in welcoming Billy Irving, one of the Chennai Six, who's arrived back in Scotland this morning. Mr. Speaker, so now we know that the deal that was done with the DUP to keep the Prime Minister in office gave the DUP a veto over Brexit. It is embarrassing that it was being briefed on Monday morning that the Prime Minister had a deal, only to take this off the table after a call with the DUP. Is this the Prime Minister who is in office but not in power?
What we are doing is working for a deal that will work for the whole of the United Kingdom. There are particular circumstances for Northern Ireland because it is the one part of the United Kingdom that shares a land border.
No, that's a lot of context that's going on here. But, okay, I wanted to check a little bit of context on why she said you're barking up the wrong tree. But we are talking about something that is going on with the Prime Minister because he was fired in 2017. Well, he was not fired, he was surrendered. He quit. He quit the position in 2017. So there's a lot of context in this particular example. But it was like, do you see how interesting it is to see a debate in the United Kingdom in contrast to the Mexican at the Cámara de Diputados, which is so different. The conversation and the turns and the agreements, you know, is so different. But yeah, your example, Luis, that was a good example. I think we can take Luis examples for this one instead of the video, right?
So maybe you could say that this member in United Kingdom, what is the name? Camera? No, Camera. No, is what is the name of this government organization in United Kingdom?
That's what's the name? Magistrate? No. Ministry? No.
So, I am referring to this group of people with
Parliament.
Parliament?
Yeah, the Parliament.
Okay. So maybe you can say that the UK Parliament members are not uncivilization. What the previous word?
Okay, wait.
In
Kinda,
contrast
because
with Mexican members.
but uncivility is a noun. That's
Ah,
not a description.
ah,
No. The word that you want to say is the description is uncivil.
okay.
You see? Exactly. In Spanish, it's a very long word. In English, it's very short.
So, okay.
Okay. There you have it.
Yes, that was you was trying to describe in contrast with Mexican members of the parliament.
Exactly, that's what. Exactly. Yeah, because you listen to that conversation in a Mexican parliament, and it's like everybody's shouting at the person, and there's a person like, "Please sit down, please shut up, let him speak." It's like so messed up, so different. And they have turns. People agree, people disagree. It's like so different.
And I think I have seen in other countries even the members of the parliament fight among them and literally.
Okay. That's what I imagine. I mean, when there are fights in the parliament, in Mexican's Cámara de Diputados, it's in international news. Usually. So I am like, sorry guys. We have a different moral code here. But anyway, guys, this conversation, if you read it again, you are going to understand a very different situation. Let's read it again, okay? Luis, you are Mike. So Sophie, you are Josh. 1, 2, 3, action.
What's wrong with you these days, John? You have always keep your nose clean.
It's all a hoax. I must admit that I've swallowed the bait.
How come?
Unfortunately, I barked up the ground tree when I counted on Jessie. It turned out that she had also been planning to get rid of me.
Oh, I don't believe it. That's pathetic.
So John is sad. Am I right? There you have it, guys. So different, no? The first time you read this, it's like, what? And then you check the expressions and it's, okay, so John has a problem. See, he sees that. That was today's analysis, guys. Okay, let's keep rolling on these expressions. Tomorrow we're gonna do a little bit of theory. So let's talk about that tomorrow. And today we finished. All right? Good job.
Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.